break for the night. Understand that's kinda late. And I gotta get home to my son, cause he's so special to me. I mean, I gotta see him, I need to breathe him. That's my baby, don't call me crazy. I love the studio, but I love him more. Let me give you what I got, so I woke up in the morning feeling fresh to death. I'm so blessed, yes, yes. I went to sleep stressed, woke up refreshed. I'm so blessed, yeah, yes. Water in my face and everything is in its place. Peace of mind, even my grace. I'm so blessed, yes, yes, yes. My grandma almost lived to see 92. I'm so blessed, yes, 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 yes. My son was born healthy and beautiful. I'm so blessed, yeah, yes. My mama's on my right side, daddy on my left. My son, father doing his absolute. I'm so blessed, 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 blessed. Yeah, yeah, yes. And I know what I know. And I know what I know. Struggle gon' happen, it's just the way it be. Ain't nothing coming easily in this life. Sometimes you gotta work and you gotta grow and it gotta hurt. I'm sure you know, take a look around. Woke up this morning listening to this song. You're so blessed, yes, yes. Gonna rock this joint all night long. You're so blessed, yes. To be up in here with our hands up in the air, waving like we just don't care. We're so blessed, yes, yeah, yeah,
Good evening, good evening, good evening. How's everybody doing this Black Friday? Yes, yes, I am so blessed. That song just meant so much to me, so I had to start my show off that way tonight, just letting you know that I know how blessed I really am. I am blessed and highly favored. And Jill Scott always give you something where you can just sit back and say, wow. Just look at God and just appreciate everything. So tonight, my show is called Appreciation of the Struggle, Part 2. Once again, thank you for tuning in to Life Enhancement Radio. You're now listening to Tashira Jones, the host of True to the T, hashtag Teapots. How's everybody? How's everything going? I'm just really, I keep saying, but sometimes that's where it just have you at. Yesterday was Thanksgiving and, it was beautiful. It was very, very beautiful. I appreciate everything and everyone that came to my home and took the time to say, we're going to spend a Thanksgiving with the Joneses. And the Joneses just worked together. You know, we knew that we were going to have company. We knew that people would be traveling, short, or if you were coming far, that we really wanted to give you something and have a good time, because that's what my life is about. My life is about showing people that I appreciate them for who they are. So I want to tell my family and friends, well, everyone that was here was actually family to me. I'm not going to say friends. Anyone that entered my home, y'all are family to me, because we talk about different things. Some people I'm closer to than others. And then it was a lot of phone calls coming through, because I have 3 children that don't live in the state of New Jersey. So they were calling, they were FaceTiming. So it was just a beautiful thing to be able to have that time with everyone. And they crazy. When I tell you, my house be crazy. We come over here, they come over here, and we just laugh. Laugh, laugh, laugh. So if you ever come to my home, or you're invited to come to my home, and if you think you're going to be just sitting there bored to death, you're going to be looking at somebody that does something absolutely crazy. But I appreciate the love that is always shown to me and my husband, because that's what it's all about. It's always about being able to give back in a different sense of giving back and opening up our home to people to come. It feels good. And, you know, of course, we got that food up out of here because it's only me and him and Chloe. And we're not doing all that eating. So we was packing plates. And shout out to Dante Jones for cooking that bird on the grill. You heard me. I said the grill. He opened up that grill. We put that turkey on the grill, and it was the best turkey that you can have. When they say smoked turkey breast, when you go to the store and go pick it up, nah, no. The real smoked turkey breast is when you put that turkey on the grill and you cut the breast of that turkey. Now that's called real turkey breast, because the smoke, oh my goodness, y'all had to taste it. So anybody that's willing to try to do a smoked turkey, just look up the recipe. We got the recipe off of Tasty, and then we looked at a couple other different websites, and pretty much everyone said the same thing, and it was delicious. So, you know, today is Friday, so I'm going to call this show a little bit of Flashback Friday, along with some old songs, and just giving you the rest of the story that I began to give you last week. And as I give you the different parts of my life, I want you to understand that I give it to you from the purest part of my heart, because there are things that I put out there that I want everyone to know that you can make it. And everything we go through in life is for a reason or a season, and it will pass. So when I dedicate this show tonight for appreciation of the struggle part 2, it's because I really do appreciate the things that I've been through, and that I'm alive and I'm able to tell somebody, because a lot of people want to tell their story, but they're afraid to tell their story, or they don't have the outlet to let it be known. So now that I have been given this opportunity to have my own radio show on lifeenhancementradio.com, I want to tell my side of my own story, and also the story of others, people that want to share what they've been through and where they're going, or if someone is right in the midst of going through something that is very, very hard. You know, I want you to be able to reach out to me. You can reach out to me through Gmail, which is truetotheT@gmail.com, or you can hit my Facebook page, which is Tashira Jones. And if you send me a message, or if it's something that you want me to share, but you don't want me to say your name, I respect that, but I will share your story, and then maybe we can get a breakthrough through it all. So once again, this is Life Enhancement Radio, and you're now tuned into True to the T, and it's your girl, Tashira Jones, which is the host of the show. So I wonder how everyone's Thanksgiving went. I mean, Thanksgiving is such a beautiful time of the year. You know, you have a lot of people that have different faiths and don't believe in, you know, the cooking and all the traditions that we know it to be. So they don't do it. So this is why we open up our home. And I will always, I pray that I will always be able to open up my home to different family members, and maybe they can possibly bring their friends or their family. You know, y'all just got to give us notice. That way we know we have enough food to give out. You hear me? But needless to say, you know, that's what it's all about. Like, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. So I'm going to jump into my story. And the story goes back to last week when I opened up and I told you all that 21 years ago, and it's crazy because today actually makes 21 years ago that I was homeless, and I was in a situation where I didn't know what I was going to do or how I was going to come out of it. So I'm going to give you parts of this story, and I'm not going to give you all the tea, but I'm going to give you enough tea. That way you know that, you know, what you see with me is not really all of what you get. Because a lot of people tend to think because I've been on my job for the time period that I've been on my job, or, you know, I drive around in a decent car, or me and my husband are doing really well, that there hasn't been a struggle the struggle has been real. Let me tell you, I mean, so real that all I can do is say, I'm so blessed. I am so, so blessed. So as I give you the story, just allow me to just be able to catch my breath at times, because it becomes a little bit overwhelming, but also empowering for someone that is out there right now and that is actually going through exactly what I'm going through or went through. So 21 years ago today, I was homeless the day after Thanksgiving. How did I get there? That's probably the question that some want to know. How did I get there? Well, as I've told you different things about me, it goes something like this. I had got put out of a house, and then I didn't know what I was going to do. At this time, I had 3 children, which is my oldest son, my second son, and one of my daughters. And I was pregnant with my youngest daughter. So when I got put out of where I was staying at, I didn't know what I was going to do or who I was going to turn to. So what I did is I had to find a place to stay. And finding that place to stay, I reached out to Salvation Army because I didn't have nowhere to go. So Salvation Army gave me a voucher. And when they gave me the voucher, that paid for a hotel room. So I got my children and I went and stayed in a hotel room, and it was paid for like 10 days. It was I believe it was like 10 days. They paid for me to stay in a hotel room. So I took me and my kids, got in my car, and I went and stayed in a hotel room for 10 days. Now, at this time, even though I was staying in a hotel room, I was working. I had been put out of where I was living at and all that kind of stuff. But I worked. I've been working ever since I've been 16 years old. So after I got off the system, I've consistently worked. So when I stayed in a hotel room, it was detrimental to anything that I known, because I'm not going to say I ain't never stayed in a hotel room. I just had never lived in a hotel room. So when I was there, I had to go out and buy an iron and make sure that I could feed my son, because one of my children was actually with his father. So he didn't have to go through what my oldest son had endured. And my one daughter, she was just like 1.5 years old. So she didn't know what was going on. It has always been my oldest son that has endured everything with me, so he was right there as we were going through it. And he, at this time, he was about 8 years old, 7 or 8 years old. And he didn't understand, but we weren't out in the cold. So once after I stopped staying in the hotel room, I didn't know what I was going to do. So I was offered to stay with someone else. And of course, you're going to go and stay with someone that offered you to stay there. And everything was working out really well. I went to work. I paid what I had to pay, because I believe in wherever you stay at, you pay your way. You stay nowhere for free. So I did my part. And then a situation happened. It was the day after Thanksgiving. Me and someone had a disagreement. And in the disagreement, a lot of words were said. And the one word that was said, if you don't like what I have to say, you can get out. So when that was said to me, I can get out, I'm saying, I'm beefing with family. How do I get out? Where do I go? Because the beef was so hard that I was going through with my family. I didn't know, my family in New Jersey, the beef was really hard. And like I said, I can't even remember where the beef had started at, but I didn't know what I was going to do. And like I told you,